this focus on sustainability is absolutely what we're about, the economic side, the environmental side, and then the social side.
Hey now, it's Dan Eberhard here, and I am the host of Growing the Future podcast. And along with my little brother, we started this show to bring agricultural entrepreneurism to the masses, and we always talk to really incredible folks. This is part 2 of my conversation that we're featuring on YouTube with Alanna Koch about innovation and technology in agriculture and why there's so much of it in Saskatchewan. In this video, you're going to learn why Saskatchewan is such a leader in innovation and new technologies in Western Canadian ag, and we've also put the link for the last video, part 1 of this feature of our conversation on YouTube, if you're interested to learn more about how Saskatchewan's economy is blooming. But before we get into the video, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel, like it, and share it with other trailblazers in the agricultural industry. Thanks so much. Enjoy the clip. Right here in Saskatchewan, we have a ton of innovation, a long history of innovation. One of the things that you touched on was this herbicide reduction technology through precision AI that was recently awarded some grants through the supercluster, as I understand it,
right.
Protein supercluster, which, shameless plug, my brother is involved with helping get off the ground with testing the technology on Eberhard farms, with getting their agronomy and research company, Sure Growth Technologies, involved. And then he actually formed a new company with Warren Bills, Convergence Growth, to work with Dan McCann and Precision AI. And what I saw at the farm this year was stunning. I mean, I've dreamt of that. I was in the sprayer business. I sold hundreds of John Deere sprayers. I mean, I was a cog in the giant machine that is, you know, a chemical business and that part of food production. God bless John Deere. They made a beautiful sprayer. I don't know. What are you guys driving? Are you driving a John Deere? Are you driving a Case?
Hey, we have all colors on the phone.
You're agnostic.
But when you don't have equipment, we are a mosaic of equipment out here. We have green, we have red. Yeah, we've got it all.
Oh, I like that you're, you know, so open to your. Some people are pretty religious about just John Deere. You know, I've experienced that for 13 years selling iron. But my point is, I always kind of dreamed of that advancement. And now for producers, you were saying on the call, and I became aware of the dual opportunity. There was 2 opportunities in the field that day this summer. There was a $52 per acre reduction of chemical use. I believe that's where the dollars came from. That number is roughly $50 an acre savings in chemical. Plus, there was roughly a $25 premium for low chemical usage protein from the peas going to, say, roquette. $75 an acre. That's a pretty big deal, because right there that's almost doubling your margins on a lot of production today. If you got $400 in production costs, you know, you want to make $100 an acre, I think, in Saskatchewan is what's, you know, math I heard yesterday in conversation. This is a big deal. So tell me a little bit more about that project. When is it going to come to the farm? And in perspective, why do we have such a great history of innovation that's like accelerating today?
Well, I mean, when is it going to hit the farm? I mean, of course, innovation takes time. You never know. But, you know, we're not talking 10 years away. We're talking sooner than that. I mean, that's the exciting part about, you know, our ability to innovate now has been accelerated because of the tools that we've got. So whether that is on the breeding side, if you're looking at crop varieties, or if you think about data and what data has allowed us to do as far as so many other innovations. So being able to prove up technologies, being able to analyze. So you're not just analyzing, you know, during the crop season. You're able to take that data 12 months of the year and be able to accelerate innovation and adjustments that need to be made, and then be able to put it on the ground next crop year. You're not just doing your work during a short growing season. Now the ability for us to manage projects on the research side 12 months of the year. Data is huge. It's game changing. Some of the equipment we've got in our laboratories at GIFS allows us to do a better job of managing this data, which allows our projects to be able to advance more quickly. So it's exciting to think about, you know, how quickly some of this commercialization is going to occur. Whether you look at the precision ag stuff, whether you look at the work we're doing on roots, or you look at some of the work we're doing on genetics, you know, it's exciting to think about. And Why innovation? Early adopters and quick adapters. And why is that? Well, it's in our DNA. I mean, we've always been challenged with this, immensely volatile climate. Too much water, usually not enough water, too hot, too cold. Well, how have we survived? How have we been able to become the world's largest exporter of so many crops? It's because we have embraced innovation. And we invent, in many cases, some of those inventions occurred on the farm. You think about the zero-till days and some of the exciting stuff we did on the mechanical side, on the equipment side. Well, so many of those companies started in farm shops. Farmers were out there, welding and building and inventing on the farm, then became in partners with, actual equipment manufacturers. And we're now, the world's exporter of game-changing zero-tillage equipment around the world. It's transformed. I think it's just in our nature to see a problem and think we're going to fix that and we're going to find a solution. And that's where innovation comes from. It's just how we do things, and it's how agriculture does things, and we're going to find a way to fix the problem. So GIFS is, I think is well placed in Saskatchewan. As I said, a third of agriculture biotechnology in Canada is right in Saskatchewan, primarily in Saskatoon. The University of Saskatchewan is very focused, obviously, on agriculture. The first agriculture college in the country. Over 40% of Canada's farmland here in Saskatchewan. Some of our most innovative minds. A very committed provincial government, which obviously makes a huge difference. Who's really committed to seeing agriculture continue in that powerhouse, and then committed industry partners like Nutrien and like others that we're working with that really feel like they can make a difference with their investment and their focus on feeding the world sustainably. This focus on sustainability is absolutely what we're about. So we've got, the economic side, the environmental side, and then the social side, because we know having these solutions here in Canada, but around the world, to be able to, provide those solutions to people around the world. We know so many farmers around the world that, man, just a little bit of improvement makes them more sustainable environmentally, but far more sustainable economically, and therefore also socially. Well, that's really being able to make a difference around the world and securing food. What could be a more worthy goal than that?
Man, I'm so pumped up right now. I just feel like running in the streets and shouting, Saskatchewan! Carrying the flag. It's so much more uplifting than our conversation about the federal government. I just can't give you enough credit on that speech. It's just a beautiful thing. And I feel the same way. I feel like some of the challenges in Saskatchewan is what breeds that innovation. And it's not easy. You can't get lazy and fat high on the hog. You've got to hustle. You got to hustle to survive out there. And I think it's a lot of do-it-yourself innovations too. That culture of like, let's figure this out ourselves. Let's build it. Right from what Ben Voss built there to, Norman Bugeaud with the DOT to, Bourgault and so many different, the zero-till thing you mentioned. Some pretty crazy large-scale innovations that are working today in the field that make a big difference.
And Dan, you think about, the other thing I think makes a difference is, we're a giant in production. We're a giant in so many ways, but we're small enough that we know each other, that we collaborate maybe more easily as a result. More minds together is always better than us trying to figure it out on our own. So, industry collaboration, we look at our producer commissions, or we look at the university, or we look at the provincial government, or we even look at, industry. We think about the large players in the industry, and whether they be on the equipment side or on the life science side, or, all of those that contribute to that full value chain. And then you have the infrastructure to allow it to occur. So GIFS is part of that infrastructure now with our labs and with our people infrastructure. We've got the food center, who in Saskatoon that does a great job. We've got the cyclotron, and Canada has its cyclotron right in Saskatoon. This makes a huge difference, and that collaboration, so big enough to really make a difference, but small enough to more easily collaborate. Maybe this is where some of that magic comes from in Saskatchewan. We all know each other, so we work together better.
I love it. It's worthy of note to sort of track what's been working well and do more of it, because it's a special gift that we share in Saskatchewan. And I do love that idea that, we are a massive entity when it comes to world production, but It's a small fishbowl. We all know each other, small community. I hope you enjoyed that clip with Alanna Koch. It was an amazing conversation. I just want to remind you to subscribe and like this video and share it with fellow progressive-minded producers. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'll personally respond or get back to you. Love to have these conversations in our little agricultural friends and family community. And follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. Keep it real out there.